have for mother support, but for some, the choices are so obvious. After recent police reports that a teen threw her newborn out a window, the president of Southeast Healthcare Network is reaching out.
Our doors are open, and the plea is free. Whatever you do, seek help. Seek out a partnership with someone or something that you trust before you do anything to harm your baby or yourself.
When a Bronx resident needed a life-saving liver transplant, she turned to Pedro Espada for help. She received a successful transplant, but that wasn't the end of the story. Senator Espada learned how difficult it was for those of Latino heritage to find a liver transplant donor, and made sure this issue made it to the forefront of the media.
There's lots of people that need that kind of support mechanism that she didn't have. There's lots of people that don't have the information in Spanish, so that they could avail themselves of the counseling, of the post-diagnosis phase, which is crippling.
We at the Southview Healthcare Network wish to extend our deepest sympathies and prayers to everyone who has lost a loved one. We especially salute the firefighters, the police officers, the emergency medical services volunteers, and all of those that rose above the call of duty. They will forever be a source of inspiration and pride for us all.
Pedro Espada has always been able to bring together business and community in times of crisis. When a hurricane ravaged a part of the world where many community residents have family, he was able to get pharmaceutical companies to donate medical supplies to make sure the injured were cared for.
Hay que coordinarlo bien para que cuando lleguen los médicos vayan a un sitio discreto donde sí se pueda hacer lo mayor. La aportación es importante, es necesaria y queremos hacerla.
Representantes del Centro de Salud Southview dicen que estarán recibiendo donativos durante toda la semana a través de esta y otras clínicas que son parte de su red de centros médicos aquí en el Bronx. Así que
what started as a community nutrition initiative has turned into a virtual necessity in the Bronx. While stocks are sinking in these tough economic times, the line for free food continues to grow. Tracy Strahan has more.
With her only source of income being her disability check, it's become harder for Madeline Chicalacos to fill the fridge.
I think that the average person is struggling a lot.
But the line she had to stand in just to get free fruit, veggies, and other staples today could rival any grocery store checkout.
What used to be a line around the block is now twice around the block.
Originally serving 600 families throughout the Bronx 4 days a week, the free food distribution program through Southview Healthcare Network now fills the empty carts of nearly 6,000. And attempting to keep up with demand is forcing them to ask for aid.
We're going to need a lot of help. This won't go away. It's only really the beginning of this crisis.
When Pedro Espada sees a need in the community, he rolls up his sleeves and does something about it. When people are hungry, he makes sure they have food to eat.
Buenos días, good morning, and welcome to Misiones. I'm Maria Hinojosa. Latinos are facing a struggle for empowerment today that is very similar to the struggles of Americans in the 50s and 60s. Here to discuss Latino and African-American relations are Senator Pedro Espada and Senator David Patterson. Bienvenidos, welcome.
Senator Espada has always been a coalition builder. He has forged meaningful and long-standing relationships with all ethnic, racial, and religious organizations and residents throughout the Bronx neighborhoods. He served as an elected official and as a healthcare provider. His unique leadership style makes him a true leader of the people, and not just another politician. Equally important, he has always been able to work with his colleagues in elected office, regardless of party affiliation. In his positions of leadership in the new state government, Senator Espada will use his relationships to work closely with Governor Patterson and his fellow colleagues in the Senate to navigate the state through the difficult and turbulent times ahead. Pedro Espada's roots in community service began as a community organizer and tenant association president. Along the way, he has helped thousands of tenants at Stevenson's Commons and in the Parkchester community. But his work hasn't always been at high-profile housing developments. For example, he came to the aid of tenants in a small building who had been without cooking gas for weeks. He's looking forward to the challenges as chairman of the Senate Committee on Housing, Construction, and Community Development.
Public officials can be elected out of office. Condominium boards can be elected out of office. If there is perhaps corruption, and I'm not suggesting that there is, but some tenants have, some residents have, and we need to find out. The testament here is the courage